Hi, I'm Dana Hansen. I'm the Director of Franchise Development for College Hunks, Hauling Junk and Moving. And I am super psyched to be joined this morning by Kylie Harrington. Kylie, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Dana?
Great. I really love seeing your face first thing in the morning, and it's great to be able to catch up. Just before we recorded the call, you showed me your cute little guy. I can't believe he's 2 months old. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So would you mind introducing yourself, just, your name, where you're located, and then, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I'd love to hear, and I think it might be helpful for folks that are watching this to hear a little bit about your background.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Kylie Harrington. I am the owner of the Danbury, Connecticut location, along with my husband, Josh. I initially came from a insurance background, so um, nothing to do with moving or junk removal. I worked at Danbury Hospital in patient access, working with different types of people, different types of personalities. Um, and definitely in a high stress environment.
Man, that is a different world completely for sure. And I remember Discovery Day with you and Josh, coming down, and I really loved you guys, and I'm glad that like the values and everything, kind of resonated with you. But I would love to hear, like, how did you hear about us to begin with, and then why did you choose College Hunks? Because it was such it's a world away from what you're doing.
Absolutely. So I wanted to get out of the typical 9 to 5 workday. I wanted to create a schedule of my own, along with making a positive impact on the community. So after doing extensive research on opening a franchise, I heard about College Hunks, Hauling Junk and Moving on the TV show Hoarders. After watching several episodes, we decided to do more research on the company and truly felt compelled to their core values and what they stand behind. After being in business for just over 2 years, I can truly say the company stands behind the vision to move the world.
Love that. No, it was really fun seeing you at Reunion, where we get together with our franchise owners, once a year,
Yeah.
and be able to. It's a great learning experience, great bonding experience. One of the things that I think there's, that's a little bit of a challenge is, I think in our industry, there's kind of a stereotype about this being kind of a good old boys network, or maybe a industry where it's just guys. And I'm just curious, like, did you ever feel intimidated, or, how did you feel about working with mostly male employees? Like, any challenges, any issues?
So I feel initially it was intimidating. Working in insurance, I worked with mainly females. In this industry, we mainly hire on males. There are some females, however, I do feel being confident and consistent on a daily basis is what keeps me on my toes. After being in business in 2 years, I truly feel that now I'm more confident and I stand my ground. When it comes to solving problems, I've noticed our crew members gravitate towards me to confide in and assist with resolution as opposed to approaching my husband or other male coworkers. So now I feel that I made an impact being a female in this industry.
It's cool. It's interesting because for them to be able to confide in you, and have that level of trust. I mean, that means a lot. And yeah, I can see that. Well, you're a likable person too, so that there
Thank
certainly
you.
certainly helps. So yeah, that's really cool. So you had talked about joining the brand because of core values and
Mhm.
that sort of thing. I am interested, like, what is your favorite core value and why?
Sure. So my favorite core value is building leaders. The structure of College Hunks truly lays the foundation of success among crew members. Watching them move up from wingman to higher positions through coaching and guidance is something which sparks joy as the owner of this franchise in particular. One of our managers, Robert Lombardo, started on the truck as a wingman, then moved up to captain, and eventually as the operations manager of our day-to-day and soon to be GM. He has grown over the last 18 months and become such an asset in the growth of our location. We are forever thankful for his hard work and dedication to our team, as well as the customers in our community. So I feel coming from a background of insurance, there wasn't really much growth. You weren't really appreciated. And in this industry, you really can build leaders and, you know, coach people and make them successful in this industry.
That's awesome. And you're right. Building leaders it's a really, important one. They kind of come in at a young age,
Yep.
and I think sometimes they like want to know how to impress people, and being able to share those types of things, I think really, really helps. I love hearing the story, about the crew member, and when
Mhm.
that growth over time.
Yep.
Um, Proudest moment as a College Hunks franchise owner? Is there anything that
Sure.
like stands out to you?
Absolutely. So there are two specific memories that stick out in my mind. First was a client we serviced in June of 2020, shortly after we opened our doors, about 5 days after we had opened. My husband and I went to this specific job to supervise as we were still so new. I took a liking to this particular customer as they had 4 Dalmatian dogs, which were wandering around the property as the crew removed their items. During that time, I was speaking with the client's wife, who was an educator in the local community. She was so kind and happy we were removing her old items. 1 year later, 1 year later, almost to date, after moving locations, we had the same customer walk through our doors requesting a move to North Carolina. At the time, I was the move estimator, so I went to the client's home to inventory their items we were looking to move. When I walked in the front door, I sensed something was off, and unfortunately, the client had told me he recently lost his wife. This completely broke my heart, and typically we do not complete moves more than 10 hours away, but I felt compelled to help this customer out as he had no children, and after losing his wife, he was having a difficult time. Long story short, we were able to make it happen. The client was beyond grateful and was thrilled we assisted him to his new home. I still keep in touch with him to this day, checking in to see how he was doing. You never know what someone is going through, and I am so proud that our College Hunks location helped him out. We also have another huge memory that is still ingrained in my mind that I'm very proud of. An employee that we hired on after he had served a sentence in jail for multiple charges. Typically, it's very difficult for criminals to find employment after they're released from jail. However, given his previous moving experience, we felt compelled to hire him on and give him a chance. A few weeks after we hired him on, we found out he was homeless and staying in a local homeless shelter with his fiance, who was expecting their first child in June. The homeless shelter was several miles from our shop, and Cyron walked every morning starting at 4 a.m. to make it to the shop on time for 7:15. Wow, that is dedication. One afternoon, after a crew came back from the shop, my husband found a bike which needed some work to the brakes and gears. He tuned it up, and after a long 14-hour shift, we had the bike waiting for Cyron in our office with a written letter thanking him for his hard work over the last few weeks. This brought tears to his eyes as well as mine, as he says nobody has ever done this for him before. This small act of kindness is something that will always stick in my mind as we affected his life in such a positive manner.
I love hearing that. Both of
Yeah,
those stories, yeah, those are really impactful, and it's you never know what someone's going through,
absolutely.
unless they share that with you, and they typically wouldn't share that with somebody. Is they might find that to be embarrassing or
Yep.
whatever, but it's we always talk about move the world, and we want to move the world with our customers, but also
Yep.
with our team members. And so you guys being able to do that and bring somebody to a place where they were so grateful they had tears in their eyes,
Yep.
that's pretty cool. It's really cool. And also when people are going, when people are moving, you never know why they're moving. And so with your first story, being able to being able to empathize with someone and understand what they're going through, and helping them, even if it wasn't going to be like a traditional type of thing that we would ordinarily do.
Yep.
Like I love the fact that you're still in touch with them.
Yeah.
That's so that's really, really great. I am curious, do you have any advice for anybody that's considering a franchise, especially a woman that might be considering a franchise, things that you would, I don't know, words of wisdom or anything like that?
Sure. So, number one, I would say go for it. I truly stand behind the quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That couldn't be more true. You really have no idea what you are walking into when starting up a business. However, I feel after being in business for 2 years, it is 1,000% worth it. You will get knocked down a few times, but you will always stand back up, and that's really what's most important.
Love that. No, that's that. Yeah. I think any business, you're gonna, it's gonna, there's gonna be some really great days. And there's gonna be some days you're like, oh man, I can't wait for this day to be over.
Absolutely.
So that's just life. Even in the corporate world, there's days like that. So, but yeah, betting on yourself and you're doing so with the company's firepower behind you and coaching and stuff like that. And by the way, one of those stories that you shared, the one with the bike, your coach actually shared that in our corporate huddle because it was such a moving story, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome!"
That's
So
amazing. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you so much, Kelly, for spending the time. This was super, super awesome, and it's so great to see you and
You too.
see your little one. So have an awesome day, continued
Thank you,
success.
Dana. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.